Hi everyone, thanks for visiting my channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Carol, the Thrifty Chic Housewife. And today we're going to do some pressure canning. We are going to can up some delicious chicken. In particular, we are going to make bourbon chicken. This recipe was inspired by my friend Gina. She was sharing some of the chicken recipes that she likes to can and shared a bourbon chicken recipe with me, and I thought, I think I can make that just a little bit better. So did some thinking and some testing, and this is going to be my version of bourbon chicken. If you're not familiar, bourbon chicken is typically served in Chinese restaurants. If you've been in a food court in a mall, chances are they've tried to give you a sample of it. It's very popular in mall food courts, and it's really super delicious. So that's what we're going to be making today. You guys have been asking me for some other fun recipes, some different kinds of things to can. So I hope that this hits the mark for you. So I'm going to be using chicken thighs. You can use chicken breasts if you prefer. I think thighs can a little bit better. That's just my opinion. There's nothing wrong with chicken breasts, but they tend to be a little bit drier in my opinion. Chicken thighs have a little bit more flavor, I think, and they are a little bit, they don't dry out as much. But that's just my opinion. That's my preference. So I have 3.5 pounds of chicken thighs that I have cut into bite-sized pieces, and I've removed most of the extra fat. Anytime that you are canning up meat, you do want to try to get rid of as much fat as possible. So I've trimmed all the fat off, and we're going to add some delicious spices. We're going to use some ginger and some garlic, some onion powder, a little bit of red pepper flakes for a tiny bit of heat. And then we're also going to be using some apple juice, some chicken stock, and some soy sauce. So it's going to be really delicious. The sauce is totally, you can adjust things to your taste. So after you make your sauce, you'll want to taste it, see if you want to add more of a certain spice or more apple juice, more whatever. You can kind of adjust it. You don't have to use my exact amounts. So that is adjustable. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to brown our chicken just a little bit. I don't want to cook it all the way through because it is going to finish cooking during the canning process. So we don't need to cook it all the way, but I do want it to get a little bit of color on it and start the cooking process. Then we're going to whisk up our sauce, pour our sauce on, and let it come up to a boil, and we're going to simmer it for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to ladle it into our jars. We are going to be pressure canning. Meat is a low acid food, and it must be pressure canned. You can can this up in pints or quarts. I'm going to do pints. We're pretty much empty nesters, so it's just me and my husband, so a pint jar of this would be perfect for one meal for us. And I'll give you the times for both pints and quarts. Yeah, I think that's it. So we're going to get started browning up our chicken first. Okay, so here we go. I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my Dutch oven. You don't want to add too much oil. I would try to stick to about 2 tablespoons. It is safe to use a little bit of oil in pressure canning, but we don't want to add too much. So about 2 tablespoons of olive oil that I've heated in my pot. So now we're going to start adding our chicken. And you'll probably have to do this in batches. So just put your chicken in, put in 1 layer. You don't want to stack a bunch in there. You just want 1 layer so we can get a little bit of color on all sides. And we're just going to brown it for about 5 minutes and keep doing that until we are done with our chicken. Okay guys, I brought you in closer so hopefully you can see a little bit better. I just want to get just a little bit of color on the chicken, a little bit golden, not a lot, just a little bit. And you just want to start the cooking process. Like I said, we don't want to cook it all the way through. So just 4 to 5 minutes per batch of chicken. And then we're going to remove it, put it in a bowl so it can hang out while we do the rest of it. Okay, so while our chicken finishes browning, we are going to go ahead and start our sauce. So I have 3/4 of a cup of chicken stock in my large mixing bowl here. And to that, I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of apple juice. And then to that, we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of soy sauce. I recommend using low sodium. Then to that, we are going to add a half of a cup of ketchup. We're going to use a half of a cup of packed brown sugar. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Okay, and now we're going to add some delicious spices, give it some great flavor. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of onion powder, and all of this is totally adjustable to your taste. About a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to use about 3/4 of a teaspoon of ginger powder. Ginger can be strong, so start with less, add more if you want more. And then I'm going to add about a half of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Then I'm going to taste it and see how much heat I have and see if I need to add more. But we want just a tiny bit of heat traditionally. That's what we have going on in there. The other thing that I wanted to mention too is bourbon chicken typically has bourbon in it. So I don't have any on hand today, so I'm going to leave it out. Plus I wanted to show you how to make it without. But if you want to add it, just use a half a cup of chicken stock and 1/4 of a cup of bourbon. Then just mix that all together. I'm going to give it a little taste. That's really good. So we're going to add a little bit of salt, teaspoon or so. That's delicious actually. And I think I'm going to add a little more red pepper flake. Just give that a good whisk. And then we are going to add that to our pot. And then we're going to put our chicken back in our pot with our sauce. I'm going to give that a good stir. And we're just going to let it hang out, simmer for about 5 minutes. So while that is simmering, I am going to get my canner and my jars ready. Okay guys, we are ready to start canning. Make sure you let your chicken simmer for about 5 minutes. For your jars, you just want to make sure that they're clean and hot. Modern canning guidelines state that you do not have to pre-sterilize jars and lids as long as you're canning for 10 minutes or more, and we are going to be canning for way longer than that. So, and when I'm talking about lids, I'm using Ball lids. If you use a different brand of lids, make sure you confirm that. But Ball does state that you do not need to simmer your lids anymore either. So I don't do that. I just wash them, set them aside, and they are ready to go. So we are going to be packing our jars to 1-inch headspace, so let's grab a couple jars and get started. You see pretty good. Once you fill your jar to 1-inch headspace, you're going to use your debubbling tool, release any air bubbles. Then you're going to use a paper towel or a dishcloth. I'd like to dip mine in white vinegar to clean the rims of my jars. And then we're going to center our lid. And then add our ring to fingertip tight. And then lift our jars into our canner. I do have 3 inches of simmering water in my canner with my rack. Always want to make sure you have simmering water in your rack, and we're gonna fill the rest of our jars. Okay, all my jars are filled. That gave me exactly 4 pint jars. So if you want a little extra sauce, you may want to pad your liquid a little bit, up your amounts just a tiny bit, but that gave me exactly 4 pints. So what I like to do now is when I'm canning, we have, you can have minerals in your water that can collect on your jars during the canning process. So I use a couple tablespoons of white vinegar in my canner. That keeps them nice and clean during the canning process. And then we're going to go ahead and put on our lid. I'm using the All-American canner, and their instructions state to line up your arrow with your notch on your pot. And then we're going to tighten our thumb screws opposites. You want to do 2 at a time, opposites. And then we're going to crank up the heat to high. We're going to watch for a steam to come out of our vent, and we want to vent the steam for 10 minutes. So when that starts happening, I will bring you back. Okay guys, just a couple of things that I wanted to mention. When you are pressure canning, for proper processing, you must have a minimum of 4 pint jars or 2 quart jars in your canner. I've seen some people do less than that, and according to the USDA guidelines, your food will not process properly without that minimum. So always keep in mind it's 4 pints or 2 quart jars, which we have in here. So we're good. The other thing that I wanted to mention too is bourbon chicken. The sauce for it is typically a thick sauce, but we can't thicken it for canning. I know some people like to use clear gel, which is approved for water bath canning, but it has not been officially approved for pressure canning. So I would not add it to this sauce. It just wouldn't go there. That's just me. It's totally safe and easy to do when you open your jar to thicken it. So it's not a big deal to wait. So you can thicken it. It'll be the same texture that you're used to having it, but we really can't say that it's safe to do that during the canning process. So as you can see here, we have a nice steady stream of heat. We want that to happen for 10 minutes. Once our 10 minutes are up, we can add our weight. Okay guys, we are back. Our 10 minutes are up, so we can go ahead and add our weight. I am going to be canning at 10 pounds of pressure. So you find the 10 on your weight. That is appropriate for my altitude. Make sure you know your altitude so you're canning at the appropriate PSI for where you live. So we're gonna go ahead and add our weight. I'm going to bring my canner up to temperature and up to 10 pounds of pressure on my dial gauge. At that point, my weight should start rocking, and then we can start our processing time. Since we are processing pints, we're going to be processing for 75 minutes. If you're doing quarts, you're going to be processing for 90 minutes. Hear that? Time to start timing. Set my timer for 75 minutes. What you want to do now is you don't want your weight rocking and rolling this vigorously through your whole canning session. So we want to slowly adjust our heat so that our weight rocks 1 to 3, 1 to 4 times a minute. And you don't want a rapid temperature change either. So make sure you adjust your temperature slowly so that your weight rocks 1 to 4 times a minute. And when our 75 minutes are up, I will bring you back. I did want to mention, if you are someone who is new to pressure canning, I do have a video on pressure canning for beginners, and I'll link it up here with an iCard. I will also put the link in the description box below my video for you. Okay guys, our processing time is up, so I've turned my heat off. I'm going to let my canner turn to 0 pressure naturally. Once we get to 0 pressure, we can remove the weight, and then we're going to wait 10 minutes, and then we can remove the lid. So once we get ready to take our jars out, I will bring you back. Okay guys, we are back, and our jars are ready to come out of the canner, and they've already sealed. I heard them pinging. Close up. How good does that look? So yummy. Perfect to have on your shelf when you are hungering for a little bit of Asian food. It was super easy to do in my opinion, and like I said, really great to have on your shelf. The sauce, when you get it at an Asian restaurant, it is a thicker sauce, so you're going to want to thicken it probably before you use it, but that's really simple to do. You can do it with a cornstarch slurry, or you can do it with some instant clear gel and thicken up your sauce, and then add your meat back into the sauce, stir it all together, heat it through, and it will be delicious over rice or Asian noodles, lo mein, anything like that. It would be perfect. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with me today. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. If you're not subscribed, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button, like and share my videos, and follow me on social media. I will leave all the links in the description box below. Have a great day, guys, and don't forget, let your jars sit undisturbed for 12 to 24 hours. Then remove the bands, check your seals, wash your jars, label your jars, and store them in a cool, dark, dry place. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.